The last part that I want to show is the drop downs. So if you go back into the ribbon settings to get my toolbar, there's this form drop down setup. What this does is this allows you to easily configure the drop downs so that it does a few things. First of all, you could use the same form to open the drop down entries, and you also will make sure that whatever changes are made in that form are right away made on the form that you were on. So, for example, if somebody adds something in the form or changes the spelling of something or deletes something, your drop downs on the form that you were on will reflect that. Um, so that's one part of it. Also, this controls the not on list, um, so that it adds the entries to the appropriate tables. And that's pretty much it. The reason why this is done is so that you don't have to keep changing the field names, da, da, da. You just set up this form, and I'll show you how. And then you copy the same piece of code to all your drop downs. On double click after update and on not in list, and then you're set. I'm going to show you how it works. So I just want to show you. So first of all, for this to work smooth, the drop down tables are only the true drop downs, because sometimes even though something is a drop down, you're going to have more than two fields in there. You might have, for example, um, cities, but you're going to have the city name and the city abbreviation. So that's already not a true drop down, and it's not going to work in this setup. You could still have it, obviously. You just have to code it separate. But this setup is strictly for drop downs that look like this. So it's two fields, the ID field and the actual text field. And the table name has to start with the letters C and B. And this is what the setup has to look. So the field names have to be exactly the same, except this one is also gonna have the letters ID, and then this one is just the same thing but without the ID. So as long as your setup is like this, you could use that form, and then I'm going to show you how smooth things are. So here I already have all of my, I already preset them, but let me see if there is something that I didn't do. No, I did them all. All right, in any case, so let me show you one. So for example, contact types. So here you choose the table name, and then here you choose the um oh yeah, and it also has to be, I think it has to be plural. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it matters, but just to keep them consistent, for me, the name of the table is always going to be plural, and then this right here is going to be single. So this right here is the table name. This right here is the field name. And they're all drop downs because the app, this form scans your app and gets the list of the drop down tables and the fields inside of them. So once you choose the table name and the field name, you go here and you have to choose the primary, um the indexed field. So it's going to be the same field but just with the ID. The reason why it's set up this way is because most of the time this is going to be a one-to-one. Uh, you're going to have whatever table here and then the same ID here. But let me show you an example where there's more than two. So you're going to have you might have some combo boxes which use the same list of values. So I know, for example, yes or no, or um, a rating, good, excellent, so, whatever, whatever. So that could be, that rating can be used in more than one field. And what a lot of people do is they just create value lists. I don't like to do that. I don't like to ever store text for drop downs because, uh, um, first of all, relational structure was designed to deal with things like this by storing IDs. And second of all, if you ever want to change the spelling, you have to go and actually edit, replace, or whatever, whatever. But in my setup, if I want to change the spelling of something, I just go change it in one place, and then everything automatically is updated, obviously. So this is why it's set up this way, because in some cases you're gonna have more than one ID here. So in my case, it's a lead source and referred by. It's the same thing. I just did it for testing just to show you. So for and then on the bottom you have to set up three things. You have to tell the app where, on which forms and subforms this drop down exists. So in some cases it's only going to be one, but it could also exist someplace else. For example, here, and then this will be the sub. This right here is, if you look on my, if you look on my form, you're gonna see I have the lead source on the bottom, and then I also have it on top. Um, I like doing that because they can easily search by the lead source. So, and another thing is, if you ever do that, so the one on the bottom keeps the original name, and the one on top is gonna get the field name is gonna be um so the field name is gonna be this with the letter U at the end for upper. So if that's the case, then here you will have to check the yes, it is upper. So the app will know that it also has to refresh the upper combo box as well. And then this right here is for this setup right here. So one sec. Besides having this on top, I also have a search box for the lead source. So, and if that's the case, then you have to check the other box. So what's going to happen is that when you double click on this, when you click save, the app will look into all your settings and it's going to know, oh, I have to update this box. I have to update this box, and also I have to update this box. So that's what all those settings are for. So, and then you can add your forms. I'm going to remove this. I don't want to dirty my app. And then here, um, what you're doing here is you're putting in user-friendly labels for the, and I'll show you where they go. So this has to be plural, and this has to be just a regular name. So this is where they go. So when I double click on lead source, right here, the lead sources, um, and then there's going to be another place where the message comes up, and that's where that's where your other label is going to be used. And then the third thing is this right here. This is where you're telling it in which table this field, let's go to lead sources, in which table this field exists. So in my case, it only exists in the customers table, but it could be in multiple tables if you want to keep reusing the same list of values for whatever reason. So then you would add your tables here. And so this right here is the actual name of the table, and this right here is the user-friendly name. For example, if this was a two-word name, you probably would want to do the same thing, but just put a space. And that's it. That's how your combo boxes are set up. And now what happens is that all your combo boxes now work the same without any effort. So after this, the only piece that you have to do is take a piece of code that's provided in the app and just paste it for every drop down and just change the actual drop down name. And that's it. And then it just starts to work. So what happens is that first of all, you double click, you can delete. We're going to try to delete this one. You see, it's telling me no, it cannot delete this because it's already used by one more customers. That's the other settings where we were telling it in which table it existed so that it knows before deleting, oh, I have to go look in this table to make sure it doesn't exist there. And if it does, then I cannot delete it because obviously, if I delete inactive now, but there's a customer using it, um, that's a problem. That can't happen. You can also add values here if you wanted to. So what it does is capitalizes every, so it does a proper case, so capitalizes every word. But let's say if you wanted to do this, you want to capitalize ABC, but it automatically capitalized only the first letter. So you double click, the header becomes red, and now it's letting you know that now it's not gonna autocorrect your stuff. And now you keep your ABC in all caps as you wanted it. So now you added these three things. You're gonna click save, and now if you go into status, actually this was a good example. So what happened was that for customer statuses, I forgot to set the form. So we're gonna do it together. So it exists on the customer's form. There is no subform. It does have an upper, and I'm pretty sure it does have a search box. Let's see. Yes, it does have a search box and it does have an upper. Wrong one. So now we're gonna click on this. We're gonna click save, and there are your three statuses here. There they go here. And here we only have inactive. That's because what it shows you on top is only those that actually have customers that have a status. So since mm, we only have inactive for customers, so now let's see if I add this one. Now the SD is there. So, and you see it does a bunch of stuff, but I didn't have to code any of it. All I had to do was go into the drop downs form. It takes a while to open because it recreates, it scans the app for the table names, the form names, for the drop downs and stuff. So all I had to do was go do my settings here, and then let me show you the code that goes into this. It's pretty simple. You just copy and paste it, and you good to go. So let me find a combo. Okay, so for example, this one. So if you wanted to copy it to a different one, you would have taken, there's three subs. After update, double click and not on list. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you the not on list. So you would take this, copy it, paste it, and then all you have to do is just replace the field names right here. So three places. That's it. Yeah, let me show you the not on list. So you just type. When you press enter, it's telling you, do you want to add this one to the drop down? I'm going to say yes. First of all, it capitalizes the first letter. And now the DDD is in the drop down. If you click here, there it goes. And that's how that works. That's it for the drop downs. There's another little piece that I want to show you. So the other piece is it's for this box right here. So what this box does, it searches a bunch of fields. It's like a free text search. But how does it know which fields to search? That's because I told it. So in the query, I told it that I want to search first name, last name. Um, I think I did the company name, and that's probably it. And here's how I did that. So there's again, if you go here, there's a button here, the search filters. So again, it takes a while to open because it scans all the tables. So we're gonna go to customers. If I click on customers, it gave me all the available fields, and I chose these three fields right here. And then when you click on this, you get this little thingy right here, and then you just have to go and copy it into your query. I'll show you how that's done in a second. But let me see if I have another good table. I don't. These are all not a real app, but I don't have any good setups except this one. But okay, let's say I wanted to also search the address and city for some reason. So now I have this. I copied it here and I also put it on my clipboard. So I go into the design and I have this field right here. You have to call it all fields for the box to work. And then I just paste whatever is on my clipboard here. And that's it. So now what's going to happen is it's going to search first name, last name, company name, address, and city. And we're going to test that right now. Let's search for this. Yep, there's two people in Cheyenne, I guess. Oh, yeah, the second one was found because his last name has these three letters. So that's it. Just a collection of little things to make development easier.